Welcome to the longest running quiz show in the area. Categories. High school students compete to answer questions on topics from art to science, history to current events. And now, here's your categories host, John Bartell.
Hi, welcome to Categories. Today we're bringing you a great matchup as the Shawnee Mission East Lancers, coached by Kevin Wiesner, is taking on the Blue Valley Northwest Huskies, coached by Rob Meacham. Let's go ahead and meet our contestants. First from Shawnee Mission East.
I'm Ian, I'm a senior.
I'm Grant, I'm also a senior.
I'm Abigail, I'm a freshman.
I'm Andrew, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Charlie, and I'm a sophomore.
All right. No point awarded, but you did a great job on that one. And our contestants from Northwest.
Hi, I'm Eva, I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Shore, I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Declan, I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Matt, I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Cass, and I'm a sophomore. Yes.
All right. Here in the first round of categories, we will take turns answering questions. If a team responds correctly, of course, they will earn a point. If they answer incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal that category. We did a coin toss before we started recording. It was won by the Huskies of Northwest, so here is the first category. It is literature. John Steinbeck's companion in his travels with Charlie was his best friend. Who was Charlie? Sure?
His dog.
It was his dog. Over to Lancers, World Geography. It now leads the world in exported beef and veal. It now has 10 times as many sheep as it has people. Less than 10% of this huge land is arable. Name this nation. Ian?
Argentina.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Huskies, chance to steal this World Geography question. Eva?
Australia.
It is Australia. Huskies, staying with you, science is the category. What is the common name for a pathogenic microorganism? Cass?
A germ.
It is a germ. Back over to you, Lancers. Government is the category. The 17th Amendment to the Constitution now provides for direct elections of senators. Before the amendment became law as early as 1892, what political party demanded election of senators by a direct popular vote? Time. Huskies, chance to steal this government category. The 17th Amendment to the Constitution now provides for direct election of senators. Before the amendment became law, as early as 1892, what political party demanded election of senators by direct popular vote? Matt?
Democrats.
It was actually the populists. The populists demanded that. Huskies, we are staying with you. Language is the category. What slang term for a rowdy is a corruption of the Irish name Houlihan? Sure?
Hooligan.
Hooligan. Back over to you, Lancers. General knowledge is the category. What is a stag's velvet? Time. Huskies, chance to steal this general knowledge question. What is a stag's velvet? Declan?
The skin covering the antlers.
Yeah, the soft covering of the antlers, yes. Huskies, you have the next category, music theory. In music, key signatures tell you how many sharps or flats you have to play or sing. What major scale has no sharps or flats? Cass?
C major.
C, yes. Back over to you, Lancers. Science, amphibians. Name or identify this amphibian. It's the small, slender, thin-skinned, and weak-legged salamander that feeds on insects. Ian.
Newt.
It is a newt. Huskies, back to you. Economics is the category. A large tax placed on some foreign imports in order to encourage manufacturers of the same articles in this country. What is such an import tax called? Sure?
A tariff.
It is called a tariff. Back over to you, Lancers. Native American history. The fire stick was the Indians' description of the early settlers' rifles. But the white man's talking leaves referred to what more intellectual contribution? Charlie?
Paper.
Paper, yes. Huskies, back to you. Sports and games. Who is the only heavyweight champion boxer to retire undefeated in the 20th century? Declan?
Mike Tyson.
It is not Mike Tyson. Lancers, chance to steal the sports and games category. Who is the only world heavyweight champion boxer to retire undefeated during the 20th century? Grant.
Muhammad Ali.
It is not Muhammad Ali. It was Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano. Staying with you, Lancers, current events is the category. Name the Democratic presidential candidate who won the New Hampshire primary. Grant?
Bernie
It
Sanders.
is Bernie Sanders. Back over to you, Huskies, world geography. This university has the largest enrollment of any Canadian institution of higher learning. What is its name? Sure?
McGill.
I cannot accept that. Lancers, chance to steal this world geography question. This university has the largest enrollment of any Canadian institution of higher learning. What is its name? Grant?
University of British Columbia.
That too is incorrect. It's University of Toronto. Toronto. Lancers, we are staying with you. Sports is the category. What college football conference does the University of Notre Dame belong? Time. Huskies, sports is the category. To what college football conference does the University of Notre Dame belong? Declan?
None.
None, that is correct. Huskies, staying with you. Mathematics is the category. Opposite of b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a is commonly known as what? Sure?
The quadratic formula.
Quadratic formula. Coming back to you, Lancers, literature is the category. Give the name and the relationship. Whom did Oedipus marry? Ian?
Jocasta, his mother.
Very good. Huskies, back to you. General knowledge. Tofu has been prepared on which continent for over 1,000 years? Sure?
Asia.
Asia. Coming back to you, Lancers. Language vocabulary. What is the term for sheltering fugitives from foreign justice? Time. Northwest, chance to steal this language vocabulary question. What is the term for sheltering fugitives from foreign justice? Sure?
Extradition.
It's actually asylum. Asylum. Huskies, staying with you. History is the category. In 1626, the Dutch West India Company divided what island into boweries? Matt?
Indonesia.
Cannot accept Indonesia. Lancers, chance to steal this history question. In 1626, the Dutch West India Company divided what island into boweries? Ian?
Manhattan.
Manhattan Island, very good. Staying with you, Lancers, movies is the category. Mickey Mouse made history in 1928 when he appeared in the first animated cartoon to use sound. What was it called? Abigail?
Steamboat Willie.
It is Steamboat Willie. Back over to you, Huskies. Current events is the category. A quarantined cruise ship off the coast of which Asian country contains the largest outbreak? Sure.
Japan.
It is Japan. Back over to you, Lancers. Mathematics is the category. Two trains running on the same track travel at the first one 25 miles per hour and the second one 30 miles per hour. If the first train starts out an hour earlier, how long will it take for the second train to catch up? Time. Huskies, chance to steal the same question here from mathematics. Two trains traveling on the same track travel at the rates of 25 and 30 miles per hour. Sure?
5 hours.
It is 5 hours. Staying with you, Huskies, U.S. geography is the category. It is an object, often an animal, which is conceived to have a mystical or symbolic relationship to a group of people. In the Northwest United States, natives put theirs on great poles. Eva?
Totem.
Totem. Back over to you, Lancers. Theater. The drama A Man of All Seasons was a popular Broadway play. Who was the subject of the play? Time. Northwest, chance to steal this theater category. The drama A Man for All Seasons was a popular Broadway play. Who was the subject of the play? It was Sir Thomas More. Sir Thomas More. Northwest, staying with you. Foreign language is the category. What's the Spanish word for the noun spoon? Sure?
Cuchara.
Cuchara. Back over to you, Lancers. Science, astronomy. What term do astronomers use to describe an object whose motion is opposite to that of the Earth on its axis or to the planets around the sun? Charlie.
Retrograde.
Retrograde, very good. Back over to you, Northwest. Literature is the category. It's the original, its original title was Voyage au centre de la Terre. Who was its author? Sure?
Lewis.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Lancers, chance to steal this literature category. Ian?
Jules Verne.
Jules Verne, very good. U.S. government, back to you, Lancers. U.S. government is the category. Name the clause in the American Constitution by which Thomas Jefferson justified the acquisition of the Louisiana Territory. Ian?
The necessary and proper clause.
Very good, yes. Back over to you, Huskies. Geography, capitals. The capital of Virginia is Richmond. The first capital of the Virginia colony was Jamestown. What was the second capital of colonial Virginia? Time. Lancers, chance to steal this geography capitals question. The capital of Virginia is Richmond. The first capital of the Virginia colony was Jamestown. What was the second capital of colonial Virginia? Ian?
Williamsburg.
It is Williamsburg. Staying with you, East, world history is the category. What warrior tribe once ruled the eastern part of the Union of South Africa? Ian?
Zulu.
It is Zulu. Back over to you, Huskies. General knowledge, dogs. A large terrier with a hard and wiry coat. This dog is supposedly a crossbreed of the Otterhound, Bull Terrier, and Black and Tan Terrier. What is it? Sure?
Boston Terrier.
It is not the Boston Terrier. Lancers, chance to steal this general knowledge of dogs. A large terrier with a hardy and wiry coat. This dog is supposedly a crossbreed of the Otterhound, Bull Terrier, and Black and Tan Terrier. What is it? Abigail?
Schnauzer.
It's not the Schnauzer, it's the Airedale. Airedale. We are staying with you, Lancers. The category is mathematics. Derek, just anybody's name, must choose a 4-digit PIN. Each digit can be chosen from 0 to 9. How many different possible PIN can Derek choose? Charlie?
10,000.
It is 10,000. Back to you, Huskies. Fine arts, terminology. What is the term for a thin, opaque coat of paint or layer of shading applied to give it a softer or duller effect? Is it scumble, pochade, obscurio, or stipple? Cass?
Abston.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Lancers, you do have a chance to steal this fine arts terminology question as we head into halftime. What is the term for a thin, opaque coat of paint or layer of shading applied to give a softer or duller effect? Is it scumble, pochade, obscurio, or stipple? Ian?
Obscurio.
It's scumble. It's scumble. All right, that tone does denote the end of our first half, and we have a tight score here with Shawnee Mission East 12, Blue Valley Northwest 14. At this part of our program, we are going to go to a representative from each squad as they will give us a campus update. And I believe, Ian, you're giving us the update for Shawnee Mission East, so what is happening with the Lancers?
Indeed. So the theater department just finished up our musical, Crazy for You. That went pretty well. We just had our, put on by Cher, our Mr. Kansas pageant. It's a pageant of male students to raise cans to be donated. It's weird. We are hosting our forensics tournament tomorrow, and overall we're just transitioning from winter to spring sports.
All right, fantastic. All right, and Shore, you are giving us the update for the Huskies. What's happening down on 135th Street?
We've got a lot of exciting things going on, John. Our basketball team is first in the Eastern Kansas League with a record of 15-2. We wish them the best of luck as they set out to bring Northwest its 4th consecutive boys basketball championship. Spring sports are starting, and our golf team, under the direction of our very own Mr. Meacham, is seeking to repeat as Eastern Kansas League and regional champions. And lastly, next week, our band, orchestra, and choir departments are headed to Wichita for the Kansas Music Educators Association All-State Conference. Northwest is proud to have the most orchestra students represented in the conference in the entire state.
All right, fantastic. Great things happening at both schools, and strong category showings also by both teams. All right, as we head into our second round, it is our lightning round in which questions are placed on the floor for either team to answer. As tradition, we will start with our look and listen question, which we will display on a monitor here in the studio, as well as on the screen for those playing and watching at home. The look and listen question is worth 2 points, and we will go with the first team that rings in. All right, here we go. Here's our look and listen question. With a speed limit of 5 miles per hour, give the name of this San Francisco thoroughfare. Ian.
Lombard Street.
It is Lombard Street, yes. Here we go, rest of the lightning round where questions are be placed on the floor for both teams. Here we go, European history. Who retreated from Moscow in 1812? Sure?
Frederick the Great.
Cannot accept that. Lancers, chance to steal this European history question. Ian?
Napoleon.
Napoleon, very good. History for both teams. He contributed the cover blurb for the 2001 book, Judaism for Dummies. Name this first Orthodox Jew to run for as a major candidate in a presidential primary. It's Joseph Lieberman. Joseph Lieberman. Shakespeare for both teams. Identify the Shakespearean play from the following opening line. When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain? Cass?
Macbeth.
It is Macbeth. Yes. Science for both teams. What keeps ultraviolet radiation from reaching the Earth's surface? Ian?
Ozone layer.
Ozone layer. Economics for both teams. Entitlement spending cannot be lowered or eliminated. What broad category of federal spending can be raised, lowered, or eliminated by congressional action? Ian?
Discretionary spending.
It is discretionary spending. U.S. geography for both teams. Name this city from the described location. It is 50 miles from San Francisco on South San Francisco Bay. Grant?
San Jose.
It is San Jose. World history for both teams. Place these events in proper chronological order. King John signs the Magna Carta. The First Crusade takes place. The 100 Years' War begins. Sure.
Crusades, 100 Years' War, Magna Carta.
I'm sorry,
Crusades.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Lancers, chance to steal this world history question. Ian?
Crusade, Magna Carta, 100 Years' War.
That is the correct order, yes. Literature for both teams. What fictitious MD was inspired by his lover to write the Laura poems? Cass?
Dr. Jekyll.
It is not Dr. Jekyll. Lancers, chance to steal this literature question. What fictitious MD was inspired by his lover to write the Laura poems? It was Dr. Zhivago. Dr. Zhivago. All right, at this time we are going to do our team theme huddle for our second half, in which I will ask 2 questions. The team captain is responsible for ringing in and giving both answers after teams are allowed to confer. Both answers must be given in order, both answers must be correct in order to receive both points. The category actually today is skiing. Question 1. These skiing events involves a ski boot only attached at the toe and are named for the people and culture of Scandinavia. Question 2. This gated downhill skiing competition comes from the names meaning hillside and track. Ian?
Nordic and slalom.
Nordic and slalom is correct, yes. Both teams, next category is science. When an electron and a positron meet, they are both annihilated. But what is produced? Eva?
Photon.
A photon, yes. World geography for both teams. There are 3 rivers in China whose basins in whose basins about 70% of the people live using just 1/10 of the land. Name any two. Sure.
Yangtze and Yellow.
We will take that, yes. European history for both teams. What city-state was Venice's most serious trade? Ian.
Genoa.
Genoa, very good. Famous trade rival. Country music is the next category. What country and western singer created the Austin sound? It was Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson. Science and environment is the next category. Power plants often use river water for industrial cooling purposes. Wastewater is then discharged back into the river, which may lead to unwanted effects on aquatic life. What is the name for this form of pollution? Eva?
Runoff.
I cannot accept runoff. Lancers, chance to steal this science environment question. Power plants often use river water for industrial cooling purposes. Wastewater is then discharged back into the river, which may lead to unwanted effects on aquatic life. What is the name for this form of pollution? Ian?
Contamination.
Cannot accept that. We're looking for thermal pollution. Thermal pollution. Vocabulary for both teams. One is tasty. Excuse me. One is a tasty, if pungent, green citrus fruit. The other is a quite inedible product of burnt calcium carbonate. What? Ian?
Lime.
It is lime. What one word describes both? Lime. Musicals for both teams. What Shakespearean play inspired West Side Story? Charlie?
Romeo and Juliet.
It is Romeo and Juliet. Government for both teams. Under what law in the U.S. and Canada does the gas and oil belong to the one who recovers them by drilling on his own land, regardless of the fact that some oil or gas may have come from reservoirs under his neighbor's land? It's got a great name, Law of Capture. Law of Capture. U.S. history for both teams. William Durant, not to be confused with historian Will Durant, is remembered as the founder of what car company? Andrew.
Jeep.
Cannot accept Jeep. Huskies, chance to steal this U.S. history question? Sure.
Chrysler.
It's not Chrysler. It's General Motors. We also would have accepted just Chevrolet as well. Current events for both teams. Name the political party, once rejected for its ties to decades-old sectarian violence, won the popular vote. Ian.
Sinn Féin.
Sinn Féin.
Yeah.
Science for both teams. Which of the following belongs to the life sciences rather than the physical sciences? So you're picking the one that does not belong out of this list. Aerodynamics, astronomy, chemistry, physiology, electronics. Grant.
Physiology.
It is physiology. Both teams, long question here. It's fine arts and sculpture. Marcel Duchamp created an art from everyday objects. He made about 20 of these pieces, but by far the most famous example is a work called Fountain. When it came to time to display his creation at an art show, the board in charge of the exhibit had fierce debate and eventually chose to hide the display from view. What was the subject of this piece? Tuckman.
Toilet.
It was a toilet. World history for both teams. Originally, it abbreviated its name as the NSDAP. Ian.
Nazi Party.
Nazi Party, yes. General knowledge. According to legend, the symbol of the shamrock was first introduced by St. Patrick in order to illustrate what idea? Eva?
The Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity. Anatomy for both teams. What on your body are your phonoreceptors? Sure?
Eyes.
Cannot accept that. Lancers? Grant.
Ears.
Ears. Phonoreceptors, yep. Vocabulary for both teams. It equals 360 feet, or 110 meters, and is used to measure yarn. What is it?
Spool.
It is not a spool. Huskies, chance to steal this vocabulary question. It equals 360 feet, or 110 meters, and is used to measure yarn. What is it? It is a skein of yarn. Sports is the category for both teams. Name at least 3 of the events in the women's pentathlon. Cass?
Running, swimming, and biking.
I cannot accept that. Lancers, chance to steal this sports category. Name at least 3 of the events in the women's pentathlon. Shot put, long jump, high jump, 100-meter hurdles, and 200-yard dash. U.S. history. Which state was the original Dixieland? Purportedly named for the French word D-I-X, on its $10 bill. Sure.
Louisiana.
It is Louisiana. General knowledge for both teams. You can still get a transcontinental railway journey from the Atlantic to the Pacific for less than $10. You don't even have to travel as freight. What is the only Central American nation where you can buy such a cheap and short ride? Ian.
Panama.
It is Panama. U.S. geography this time. This wealthy community in L.A. County on the Pacific Coast Highway. Sure?
Beverly Hills.
Cannot accept Beverly Hills. Lancers, chance to steal this U.S. geography question. Grant?
Malibu.
It is Malibu, yes. Was once the personal property of Frederick Grinch. Mathematics. I will read this twice. Solve for x in x squared minus 7x plus 12 equals 0. Sure.
3 and 4.
3 and 4, very good. World geography for both teams. Where are Mountains of the Moon? They're located in Central Africa on the Ugandan-Zaire border. Literature for both teams. This tavern was the meeting place of the Friday Street Club, which numbered among its members as Shakespeare, John Donne, Ben Jonson. Identify this tavern named for a mythical sea creature. Andrew?
The Loch Ness.
It is not the Loch Ness. Huskies, you do have a chance to steal this literature category. This tavern was a meeting place for the Friday Street Club, which numbered among its members Shakespeare, John Donne, Ben Jonson. Identify this tavern named for a mythical sea creature. Cass.
The Mermaid.
It is the Mermaid. And with that correct response, and that is the last question of the game, we have a final score of Shawnee Mission East 30 to Blue Valley Northwest 22. Well played game by both teams. Please join us again next time here on Categories as we will continue to bring you the best and brightest minds of high school students all throughout Johnson County.